Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another live stream. We've got a very eager new fan that wants to play us, so I need to switch back to the Americas server. He's got a challenger friend, so we can get 80 gold for that, and then we'll play him maybe once or twice, and however many times he wants to play within reason. And then I've got just a little bit to do on... Oh. What? How did I lose the last ranked game played due to a disconnect? I didn't disconnect. Hearthstone be crazy. Hearthstone be crazy. So we're waiting for his friend request to come in. For Wyatt's friend request to come in. I imagine after we play Wyatt, assuming he can type in my RYDO, no space, number sign, 1423. Once he types that in, there he is, I assume. And so send me whatever challenge you want to play me on. Accept. We'll play with our druid helper. He's a standard, he sent me a standard challenge, so that might mean he's a little new. It might mean he doesn't have any wild cards. The one thing about Wyatt posting so much, however, it did finally kick in Nightbot to start working. Nightbot only works if there is a lot of, I think, 2 posts by one person that's not me, in a weird way. I don't know how it exactly is triggering its things, but it seems to have a limiting factor where everybody in the chat up to this point has just come in to say hi, but I don't have any time because it's Friday. And I'm like, yeah, that was pretty much how this was gonna go on every Friday. Extraordinary. Is people don't have time on Friday, they don't have time on Saturday, and they don't have time on Sunday. However, on top of that, that also means Fridays are the longest possible streams in the week, more than likely, because that is the one day in which I have to get all the quests done. I only have to get 2 out of 3 of the quests done on Monday or Wednesday. This Druid Helper deck is built around the concept of allowing the player, the opponent, to draw more cards and do things quickly, give them more mana crystals. It works moderately well by when you have the legendary card with the panda. However, it can be overpowering, and it can mill, as it just did, and destroy the opponent's cards, and actually has a odd win ratio because of that. Let's see. Whenever one of your minions dies, draw a card. So, as I've understood it, there's a amount of XP you get for destroying minions, and an amount of XP you get for doing damage to the face. But you get more XP if you win, and I think there's a limiting factor too. I don't think you can go more than 1 full level and up to the 2nd level.
Side effects? No. Trust me. More training.
And in the turn. I definitely understand why it's eagerness to play somebody too. It is really, really hard. Hearthstone is not convincing people to friend other people and continue playing. So that even though it was probably just about a month since I last cleaned out somebody who hasn't played for more than a month, you can see that there's still a couple of people who haven't even been on battle.net at all for a month, and there's a lot of people that haven't played for like a week or so. And the way it's trying to market itself, and let's see, gain 2 mana crystals to draw 3 cards. I'll draw 3 cards. And then I'll summon a Jade. Oddly, this is kind of a Jade Golem deck too. And whenever I cast a spell, it puts it in his hand, so now he can draw 3 cards. Or gain 2 mana crystals. And that's the point, is this is supposed to be a deck that helps the opponent win and get experience. Whereas my druid, I believe, on the America's account is already at level 60 and doesn't really need anything besides ranked wins to be a golden version of him, and he's probably not too far from even getting that done. That's interesting. Oh, I guess he didn't cast a spell to get Wind Fury. He adapted. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Let's see. Now, this card again. Get a Jade Golem in there. Now, every time he draws a card, this one's going to gain +1/+1, which in a deck designed around helping somebody or forcing somebody to draw cards can cause this to be as well used as this card probably can be. That was interesting. The dialogue went over the card but under the mana crystal. See it? See the text, the number there.
Get it out! Get it out!
Their layering, I think, is wrong. I would think the text should go over everything, or it should go below everything. And clearly, the one language it should work in is English, because they're programming this in English by default. To get back to the news, more updates to Mercy are coming for Overwatch. I don't play Overwatch, so I don't really know. But let's see if we can read this. Mercy's Valkyrie ability no longer resets and lowers Resurrection's cooldown. Previously, when Valkyrie used Mercy's Resurrection, cooldown was reduced by 30 seconds to 10 seconds, allowing her to resurrect teammates in quick succession. However, now the cooldown remains the same, and instead Valkyrie now doubles Resurrection's range.
Mind if I roll need?
There we go. This and this in the turn. So yeah, this change to Mercy is being tested right now, so it might not even be implemented exactly as I said. Again, I don't play Overwatch. But let's see. We already talked about Microsoft changing the Forza 7 VIP things and making them slightly more friendly. But, so I don't need to talk about that again. I recently covered a game called Grid that Codemasters made and is no longer available for purchase. And it turns out that they got rid of Grid and then they made a game called Grid Autosports. So it's a completely different game. It's just almost exactly the same name. So, and clearly they did it so that you couldn't ever Google just Grid as a game. I really don't understand Codemasters' business plan because they took off most of their old games from being available from purchase, at least on Steam, so that people would buy the new versions, and that makes very little sense. That's a little insanity. Like, McDonald's doesn't stop selling hamburgers so you buy tacos instead, or salads instead. Let's see. Jade. This.
I don't have enough mana.
And we'll shuffle this. Let's go ahead and get rid of this card. Not really trying to win here, but eventually I might. Unity 2017.2 has brought Autodesk integration into its abilities, which that is probably rather interesting. Now, this doesn't... Autodesk is a 3D drafting software, mostly 3D modeling software.
The truth is in here.
So now you could make a 3D model of, say, a space vehicle in a software you might be a little bit more familiar with versus instead having to use whatever Unity was using before, whether it was an internal system. Let's see. So it's integrating 3ds Max and Maya into the engine. So the thing about these 3D softwares is that they do take a lot of training to figure out how to use them. There's a lot of buttons, a lot of things you can do. You can do very amazing things too, but this probably means, as I'm watching a trailer of them making a basically F-Zero style flying ship, this probably means we're gonna see better work in Unity games for the people that are using Unity to make good games. Sadly, there's still going to be a lot of bad games just using the Unity asset store to I guess I'm gonna just go ahead and cancel this, and we'll just sit here for a couple of minutes and see if Wyatt wants to play me again or not, or if he was just interested in getting 80 gold. Either way, it's fine with me. Or if he'll say something in the chat. And then I think we'll move over to the Asian servers and see how much work we can get done there. I've hit a point where I'm hitting articles that I've already talked about, so as I'm closing pages here, I might be done with news. Here's an article about the development of Conan Exiles: The Frozen North. It kind of ruins the way Conan Exiles was selling itself as this game where you're in this kind of Conan the Barbarian things. Wyatt says, how do you get gold? Well, I get gold here for by doing the daily quests that I've already done, and that's kind of all you can do to get gold, is doing quests. Or you get 10 gold for every 3 victories you do in standard play, ranked play, or casual play. And I guess if you do an arena run, you can get gold if you win 12 victories there. That's how you get gold like that. Now, on the other hand, if you want to get the heroes to be gold, because there's a lot of different things called gold here, you have to get 500 ranked wins, and you can see the druid actually needs quite a bit of ranked wins to get to gold, but that's not really that interesting. It just makes the border around your character gold and then gives it slightly different art. And see, what can you help me with an arena run? Nope, that's not how arena works. You must be rather new to Hearthstone or the arena. Arena puts you with random people. There's no way for me to say challenge somebody and challenge them to arena run. I can help anybody if they need to get victories. I can help people in a tavern brawl to some extent, but arena run is not for friends, so you can't do anything. The only thing I can tell you is there is this app you can get called Hearth Arena that will tell you what the best weighted cards are for an arena run. So if you're willing to go install that app and sort of cheat, but everybody does it, you can do that. But that's kind of all I can say. I need 700 gold for the DLC so I can do Zoo. So you need 700 gold to purchase either, I imagine, One Night in Karazhan. Well, the trick there is you just gotta trade out your daily quest. There's an X here. Let me just go over and switch over to the Asian account. Anyways, that's where I'm going. Every day, log in and click the X if it's below 60. That will give you more difficult daily quests to do, but it will give you more gold. And then you've got to do whatever the daily quests are. So here's the daily quest. I've got one for 40, one for 40, and one for 100. You don't get this 100 very often, so don't expect that to happen. Normally, you have an X here that you can click once a day to trade a 40 for a 60. If you need to save up for 700 gold, you're just going to have to... It's going to take 3 or 4 weeks of... well, not 3 or 4 weeks. It's going to take a couple of weeks at most of you coming in every 3 days or coming in every day and doing the daily quest and earning gold. That's the only way you can earn gold. If you don't want to do that, then the that's new. You can come over here and you can purchase with real world money One Night in Karazhan, which is the only DLC that's even available right now. The other DLC that is from Knights of the Frozen Throne is free. But it is also unplayable and unbeatable by new players, because if you come over here to Knights of the Frozen Throne, and this character that is here requires you to damage him with a lot of weapons, and so you practically need every weapon that the warrior has to do that. So Karazhan is the only one you can do, and it's just gonna, you just have to earn gold this way if you don't want to pay, if you pay real money, or pay real money if you don't want to wait. I would recommend not paying real money. Maybe do the welcome bundle for $5, but I don't even think so. Wyatt says, you tell me what to play in my arena. And then, sorry, there's no way that's gonna happen. That is, first of all, I can't see your arena when you're picking, as far as I know. I don't think I could even spectate people during that time. And so you're asking me to pick out of 90 cards what to pick. I'm not even an expert enough to do that. If you want somebody to help you install the Hearth Arena app, it's Hearth and then Arena. Install that app. It will tell you what to do, and it will help you. That's the only real help I can do as far as arena things. And in all honesty, as a new player, you're going to probably not make that much gold anyways. Don't be surprised if you pay 150 gold to start an arena run and you barely get 100 back, because that's about right. You need to get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 victories before you're seeing some major return. Arenas are good for new players so they can learn new cards. They're not good for new players to get gold. There's literally kind of nothing good to get gold. It's just because Hearthstone is greedy and Blizzard's greedy. It's just going to take time. So let's go ahead and type in new and mark these cards I just got. We got a golden. On the Asia account, I'm keeping all the golden cards. On the European account, I'm turning gold into dust and getting more casual cards. So I'm doing an A/B test here to see if see which is the better way to do when you're starting a new account, since the Asian and European accounts are both not very both only like a month and a half old. Let's play a couple warrior things here, and I'm already at rank 20, so there's no real reason to even play on ranked. So I'm gonna, because I'm never gonna get very high on ranked on my new accounts. If I'm gonna get anywhere high, it's gonna be on the the Americas account. So we'll play casually. We need 2 victories. Well, if you, Wyatt's saying he managed to beat the Knights of the Frozen Throne. Wow. Okay, well, congratulations on that. You found a way to have enough weapons to get through all of that. So it's just going to be a matter of time, just a matter of patience. I'm seeing a reoccurring theme here. If I'm to just psychoanalyze somebody via their chat, that Wyatt is not a patient person and needs to work on that. Moving on with the news, let's see. Yeah. There's going to be a Zelda Breath of the Wild Climb Anywhere feature in Conan Exiles. Conan Exiles looks like it might be the great predecessor to a sequel. Like, if they didn't put it in early access, if they had simply instead finished the game then put it out, I think it would be this amazing thing that would catch people's attention if they put it out at the right time and it's not too similar to several other games that are like Rust. But the fact that they're just slowly releasing updates to a beta game, they've killed all the hype for it. Let's see, that's another story we've already talked about.
Reporting for duty.
There's a sequel to the game Q.U.B.E, so Cube. So Cube 2 is let's see. It's going to launch for Xbox One, PS4, and PC in early 2018, according to this. So, I guess maybe I should play the first one. I think I own that game. Let's see. Here's another system requirements game. Let me just quickly look over that and see if there's anything majorly odd about the system requirements for Assassin's Creed Origins. No, it's almost exactly the same system requirements. I wouldn't be surprised if there actually is just a higher up engine reason that the system requirements are staying about the same. But yeah, if anything, it seems like Assassin's Creed Origins might require slightly, yeah, it does. It requires slightly less graphic fidelity than the Enemy Within 2, which I really don't know where they're trying to go with Assassin's Creed, because they're trying to have this education mode and they're turning it into an RPG. Assassin's Creed Origins really is getting to the point of being too random and too different, and just it's a little rudderless, to use a phrase. They don't particularly seem to have a clear, concise idea about what they want that game to be. A small studio that made a game called Samorost, S-A-M-O-R-O-S-T, has a new game that they've set a trailer out called Chuckle, C-H-U-C-H-E-L. It looks cartoony and silly and weird. We'll probably need more information before you could really make any kind of determination on what kind of game it is or if it's going to be any good. Chuckle looks and plays like a point-and-click adventure game. Yeah, that's what I figured. This company is kind of known for making oddly looking point-and-click adventure games, which might work, might not. Some of the Steam companies are kind of falling into niches where our first game was like this, therefore our second game is going to look like this. Therefore all our games going forward are going to look the same. Street Fighter V will finally get an arcade mode in 2018, apparently. So there's going to be an arcade edition. Does that mean there will actually be a arcade game, arcade cabinet in an actual arcade, or is arcade mode just shorthand for something that I'm not getting? It seems like if I was looking at right, Street Fighter 5 includes also Street Fighter 2 and Alpha and 3 and 4 or something like that. So
That's not a valid target.
let's see. So if that is true and buying Street Fighter 5 gets you your heart's desires of all the other Street Fighter games, then yeah, that would probably be the perfect time to get into Street Fighter. All Season 1, 2, and Season 1 and 2 characters. So Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition has an arcade mode, the gallery extra battle, new V-triggers, new visuals. Maybe those are just art galleries of the previous games, though. That might be the case. Well, didn't really succeed there. All Street Fighter 5 owners, Vanilla and Arcade Edition, will be playing the same pool, PS4 and PC crossplay continuing. I feel like the second I got into a Street Fighter or an arcade fighting game, I'm gonna immediately want like a $150 fighting stick. And I never even played arcade fighting games, so I'm literally gonna want a fighting stick out of a nostalgia for something I never even had. Let's see, it comes out January 16th for $40 and it includes all 28 characters. Maybe there's a story mode that you would get in the vanilla version, but it seems to me like the arcade mode is the improved version. But that's about all I can say there. Spec Ops The Line, Rydo said he would eat broken glass before considering a sequel. Quote, "It was a brutal, painful development." So, okay. Wasn't Spec Ops The Line the one where they used white phosphorus on the civilians? And everyone who worked on it would eat broken glass before making another. Also, it didn't sell. So don't expect for another Spec Ops The Line ever. Or if it does get made, it's going to be made by a completely different group of people. Let's see. Here's several developers talking about how they named their game. Rock Band apparently was a placeholder name. ADR1FT came easily. Obviously because it's a drift with the 1. Lots of people hate the fact that it has a 1 in the name, according to that comment. I don't even know what a drift is. It sounds like a racing game. DayZ was short enough to be an easy mod folder name.
Is someone injured?
The working title for Overcooked was Too Many Cooks, but the Adult Swim Too Many Cooks video torpedoed it. Seventh Guest was originally guest. Justin Heber suggested Seventh Guest, and it took a while for me to like it.
Is someone injured?
80 Days was immediate, and it kept on giving. Let's see. Charge. Go ahead and kill this guy. Cannabalt was what our 6-year-old nephew called catapults in Fat Princess. He was doing a lot of cannonballs at the pool too. So Closure was taken from Understanding Comics, and here's a picture of a comic. Bombernauts was somebody misremembering the name of a prototype, but his version sounded a lot better. One person says, come up with a bunch of names, then pick the one that clears legal. That's probably the truth for most of the names. Random name generator fed with words I like. Picked my favorite one. Where's My Water was just add water forever, but the devs couldn't get it trademarked. Overland was 6 months of indecisiveness. Mini Metro was the first name and obviously the right one. And apparently I could read more of these comments, but I have to admit that's kind of boring. I was hoping that would have been more interesting, but it wasn't. So today I learned there are boring reasons why people name their games what they name them, and nothing really amazing out there. Like even some of the most famous names of games are not super interesting. People don't spend a lot of time thinking of names. They hopefully spend more time making the games. Alright, and that puts my pages, my news tabs on my browser done. I've read everything, so let's just switch back to Twitter and see if there's anything interesting here. And then let's see how long we've been going, because I think, unless somebody wants to hop on and say something on the chat, I think we've been going long enough. Yeah, we've got about 8 more minutes, and I've done 3 recordings, which is more than enough. Well, it's about the right amount, actually. There's an article about what Shadow Wars loot boxes are actually selling. As I understood it, they're kind of selling everything. Everything you'd want to ruin the game for yourself. Let's see. Is there anything else on Twitter right now? Daedalic, which is a German point-and-click video game company, was tweeting about starting a Twitch channel, and I jokingly put, how are you going to end every stream on the traditional bad, unhappy ending? And they said they're working on it. That probably needs some explanation, certainly, because Daedalic's games are known for ending on unhappy endings, which kind of sucks. But they've come out and said Germans, that they and Germans in general are incapable of writing a happy ending. And most of those stories definitely have that Grimm's Fairy Tales, the original Grimm's Fairy Tales, where bad things happen always and there's no happy endings. Not the Disney style ones. And so I thought that was nice that they responded. I also made a mistake on Downfall and accidentally called it Downwell, and the creators of that game who follow me corrected me. I think I already pointed that out, though. So nothing there. Lots of bots following me on Twitter, retweeting me. I'm not asking them to do that or doing anything to encourage that, but they're doing it anyways. Doesn't really help anything. Twitter's an odd service too. It's much like YouTube. It's like it doesn't get me in front of the eyes of anybody who actually would subscribe and watch videos, it seems. See, I'm about to lose, and I think we're good to lose and call this. There's one article here that says the comedian Ralphie May has died at 45. I don't know if you want to take that as truth or not, though. That really doesn't have anything to do with video games. And there are several very obese, very overweight comedians that it would not be surprising if they died at any point. There's just the human body cannot survive to the ripe old age of 60, 70, or 80 when you are 200 or 300, 400 pounds. I know Boogie on YouTube has had like surgery to lose weight, and he's trying to lose weight, and like that's very good for him, because he's certainly going to not be in a good position if he hadn't done that. Dude, there is always a risk of being inactive and unhealthy. So yeah, this article about the loot chests on Shadow of War, I don't even really want to talk about it. Like, Shadow of War, Middle Earth Shadow of War, it's not a game worth buying as I see it right now. Wait until there's a complete collection. Wait until they're done ripping people off with microtransactions and loot boxes. Wait until they fix it and take all that garbage out, and then maybe then. But so that was good for a stream. A lot of the regulars came in by and said hi and then left, which is nice. Thanks for doing that. That does help me get new people, and we did have one new person who might be a regular in the future come in and play us, and he helped us get 80 gold. So for the Asian account, I'm gonna just get these all done off screen. This really won't take too long, and then I believe there's one more thing I have to do on the European account, and that won't take that long. That's gonna be it for this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.